Welcome guys to another ProfileTree Wix video. So today we're going to be going through the consistency for website building. So we'll go ahead and get started. So now that we're loaded up on the editor, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the rights and wrongs of Wix. And on top of that, what are the rights and wrongs of website building. So hopefully this could be beneficial anyway towards if you're using another website builder, just to give you an insight on how you should lay out your items or your elements within a website. We'll go ahead and get started anyway. So as you can see here, we've got our title, we've got two images here, our paragraph and button. So as you can see straight away there are a couple of layout problems, and that's being with the title itself, which is pushed or aligned all the way to the right. Then we also have our paragraph, which is aligned all the way to the left, and I'm not too sure if the alignment with it being centered looks good for this website. And our issue as well is with our button pushed all the way to the right. Now I don't see a problem with having the two little circles there. It may just need a little bit of adjustment, but that's one of our issues with this website. Now if I scroll down as well, this is our next area, and completely different image shapes. As you can see, this one's a rectangle and then these are two circles. And we also have a button here which is squared off. And with our other button here, looking a little bit rounded off. So we're going to go ahead and see what we could do to fix the alignment of the elements and the content here, and as well as that on how we can change some images about and try to actually create a theme for the website. Now we'll go ahead and base it off a mechanicing or automotive website. So we'll start off by changing the images. So as you can see here, we can go ahead and change the image. And for the meantime, I will actually just use Unsplash just because they have a little bit more variety when it comes to free or some images. Let's just type in mechanic. Now what's great about this is that you can use some of these images without getting any copyright strikes. I love that one there. It's got a 240 SX at the back, or 180 SX for any of those car people. So we'll go ahead and just change this one here. Let's see, conic, and then I'll add a image here for that. So we've got a theme now going on for the actual website. Now what I want to change as well is the actual alignment that's going on with the left side here. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. So we'll get a couple of areas here and align it to the left a little bit more, or we can even align it to center it. So that looks like it's a little bit better. Or what we could do just to match the paragraph and the actual paragraph itself and the title, we'll go ahead and align both of these items so that it is to the left. It's a lot easier to read as well. And what I want to do with this button is I want to go ahead and align it here. And luckily we have our snap to objects tool there. And on top of that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and change the layout of that button so it's more rounded off, the same as the actual image here. So the way to do that, we'll go ahead and select design. We'll go ahead and customize design, and we'll tamper about with the borders here. So I'll go ahead and change it to 5px. I'll actually change the corner rather than the border color. And for the border here, I'm going to go ahead and bring that back down to 0. And let's see what we're looking at. Okay, so it looks like we need to round off the button a little bit more. So we'll go for something a little bit higher with the numbers. We'll just push it up to 15. So as you can see, we've got a little bit more of a theme for the area here. So this section looks to be okay. So scrolling down, we're going to go ahead and actually change the consistency of this paragraph, and we'll go ahead and find ways to improve it. Now, my biggest issue here is the actual gap between this section and this section. So the way to fix that is by clicking on this. We'll go to Tools and Toolbar, and we'll check out our height, and from here we'll just go ahead and do some minor adjustments. And on top of that as well, you can go ahead and double click that and get rid of any white spacing. Now of course we want to make sure that we have some spacing, of course. So I'll just bring that up to 510, and that looks a little bit better. Now I have seen some people as well that would push their, it's not really ideal to have your text all the way to the right, but what we'll do is it's a little bit easier to align it to the left to read it. Not that it matters in this case, it looks a little bit better, but if you're having things like this or that sort of layout for this area, it looks a little bit weird. But we could get away with using the alignment to right there, so it's not too bad. Now what I want to do is change the image so that it is the same as the two little circles here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now the way to do that is to change the design of this, and I can go ahead and pick a different item there, and as you can see, since it's a rectangle, it's creating an oval shape. So the way to fix that is I'm going to go ahead and crop the image down so that it is around a square. And I'm just going to go ahead and change the design to a circle. There we are. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and increase the sizing of this. Just of course we want to try to match it within the rest of the site, and I want to bring it around here. And what I want to do is move this down a little bit as well, so it matches that area. So we've got some consistency now going on here. And now what I want to do for the text, what I'll actually do is align this to the left here, and then with my text I'm just going to have it sitting there. So that's okay, and then with the button I'm going to move it here. And now as you can see, my only issue now is the actual buttons itself aren't looking the same. So what I can do is I can actually go ahead and go to the design, customize design, check the corners. So it looks like this is a 50px for the border. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same here. I'm just going to go ahead and say 50px for that as well. So go to the corner, instead of 15, I'm going to change that to 50px, and that'll round my button off a little bit more. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and stick with that sort of theme color as well. And what I want to do is, so have view more here. However, I want to not have a icon. So I'm going to go to the icon tab there as it states and remove the icon. And then I'm going to go ahead and change the design, of course, so that it is a color black background. So background fill, and I'm going to go and select a black background, like so. And let me just double check our layout. Now one thing I want to note as well is that you should have the same font when you can. So just say that I'm going to stick with that or the Questrial. So I'm going to go ahead and instead of Avenir Light, we're going to go and choose the same one. And even for the buttons, it does matter. So we're going to go ahead and change the design of that, change the text. go to fonts and search up this here. It looks a little bit better now. And what I want to do is change the image as well. And then I'll just search up engine. Be a little bit more specific here. Okay, well, we'll just use the cluster. That'll do. Okay, there is an engine there, but that will do. Oh, completely chose a different image. Okay. I don't know how that happened. We'll select this again. Okay. And we shall do the same for this area. And then we'll go ahead and take a overview on how the website is now looking. Change my font to Questrial. And that looks a little bit better. Okay, and we'll check out the site and preview it. So straight away you can see how nicer it looks compared to what it previously was. So it is, of course, really important to have a consistent website. You want to have a good flow from section to section, of course, from your header to your footer, or else it can look a little bit funny. It just won't look nice as a website, and it can be a little bit informal. So something you want to look out for is consistency. Anyways, that about covers the video. Hopefully this guide helps you for your Wix build or any website builder that you're using, as long as it is a drag and drop and something you can edit about. Of course, if I have missed anything, guys, please let me know in the comment section below. But other than that, I shall see you for the next video. Thank you very much.